Okay, if the camera didn't catch me saying that, then a strong sense of self with that 4 of Wands in the second house, as I correct myself from saying it was in the first house. Yeah, a strong sense of what you deserve. Am I completely just forgetting what I'm looking for here? Possibly. Possibly. It's in the 5th, isn't it? Yep. Okay. Yep, squaring off. I want to pull it out. What was with it? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's just get a little more clarification, because this was like that, was like that. So do you see how the 5 is in the same direction as the 3? We've got the 10, and of course this was like that, right? Okay. Right. Yeah, no, we got it all on screen there. Good, good, good. And how we have this institution here and this institution here. Again, but the structure is nearly complete. The negotiations then, the evidence, like they're checking the blueprints with him to make sure it's like whatever was planned is going according to plan, you know, and you know, it's like, is there anything that needs to change? Or they're reminding him who's in control. Yeah. You know, accountability though, like the matching of the action with the plan. Yes. And here we have a necessary change of plan. But they're working together in the same direction. But then we have that guardedness. That guardedness. It's not even stuck yet. It's coming from the reverse. Yeah. So I feel like maybe it's hard to feel happiness yet. And so it's hard to act in happiness to sustain it. Because this guy's struggling with happiness as well. Yes. Not knowing. There's a lot of stress. But there's also, if there's the question of evidence and verdict, you know, on whatever level. Not necessarily legal, but anything with, you know, with that level of, you know. Okay. Whew. All right, so a few different directions here. Wow, the turn of the wheel. Okay, Jupiter energy. What was I saying about Jupiter? Ruling Sagittarius, but I was saying Jupiter with that sort of truth. Okay, so the wheel's got a ways to go before it's upright. But then it's a wheel. It just does what it does. They're not square. They're not quite squaring, right? They're not quite pushing. But they're pushing a bit. You know, we could say, if we want to take it that way, if that's more helpful, right? This 5 will push that wheel. So this Virgo energy is necessary change. Somebody's in, somebody's out. But movement. This person's not moving, right? This queen, what's getting that queen moving is that the contrast of like basically the tight corner that you're in. So we're in a corner, and the corner itself becomes, you can't, it becomes so impossible. So I'm excited, and at the same time I feel like, am I excited because I can feel how close you are to being free, and I'm pissing you off because you can feel how you can only feel the stress. House of Faith, right? The journeys. What do I want to do? Okay. Let's do that. Let's go to 8th house. Okay, so the 6 of Cups, the 7 of Cups, the Pluto. Yeah? Right there. Wow. Thank you. Well, there's the Sword of Truth. There's that ace. It's in here. Okay. So your hidden powers, what you really want, your deepest desires, the stuff that's secret, the stuff that you're worried about that is so outlandish. But your Capricorn, again, is it somebody else's inhibitions? Because you're Capricorn, what inhibitions do you naturally have? You don't. You don't. Yeah. Like here we have the squaring off in your 5th with that Ace of Swords, and you've got the whole thing with that 2 of Swords, and the 6 is coming. The 6 of Swords is coming. Right? The evidence. Or, well, no, because absolutely, what was I saying? Just Capricorn, like getting into the, digging up all the dirt, the same as Scorpio does. Well, Scorpio digs up all the dirt, and Scorpio finds the evidence. Scorpio's the real all-seeing eye, and Scorpio finds the evidence. That's what I do half my time, is I just dig up evidence. And I'm guided to do it, just like that Page of Swords. So the evidence is coming to you. What kind of evidence? Wow. Right? There's the answer to the 2 of Swords. But there's this transformation that you're going through. So that 6 of Cups that's coming, right? That gift from soulmate, spirit guide. But through that transformation also, it's going to enable that transformation. So there's an exchange here of this situation. This situation is a bridge to you and your Scorpio transformation. Gemini energy again. So what you know. And what you know is tied to who you're becoming. Right? Like this whole horrific thing is something of, I don't want to say I'm not here to learn by suffering. I'm part of a hacker team. And if you feel like you're part of a hacker team and your God is not all powerful, however you want to put it though, if you are a karma person, then this is answering that. But for me, I wouldn't want to say yes to karma because I'm not staying on that wheel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No. I don't want to come back here. I don't want to come back to a place where kids get trafficked all the time. I want to get those kids out of here. I want to get them wherever there's somewhere safe. I do believe that there is a safe pocket of the multiverse, or there is a safe end to this shit heap. And I do believe that there is a place where people can be not trafficked, and where nobody can get at them. I don't know what the answer is to ending that, to basically, I don't know yet, but I do know I'm on the path towards that, gathering all the evidence. So, however you want to... Okay, I'm back. It is morning, so there was a pause, there was rest. That matters, yes, because we have this Three of Swords here in this transformation. I mean, this is... I know I'm happy. I'm calmer today, yes, I'm calmer. I was up till 3 I've been in fairyland for a day. Seriously, I'm not even joking. I've got, see, I've got one candle lit. Well, we'll just keep it going. It's out of shot. It's starting to fade. But again, when we needed to relight this one, yes, absolutely, your wands. Your wands. Here comes the smoke from the one. Yep. So clearing, 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 clearing. Wow. Let's see if there's another card then for this, since we left it on the table. There's something more to say after. So there's before and after, yes? Before and after. Libra energy again. The first card of Libra. So this is where it starts. It starts with this transformation. This Scorpio experience. Because we have the 5 here. We have the 6. We don't have the 7 yet. Five and 3. 8. 8th house. 8th house is the strength. And again, maybe the reference to August 8th, Lion's Gate, this whole period of time. But at least this necessary change, and look how parallel, like they're just parallel, right? So there's just this time that's needed. I think they're in a similar position to the Jupiter, aren't they? And being able to, like, this is the necessary change of doing what you need to do, right? And that whole situation. So if the evidence comes, because we were talking about what kind of evidence, right? This knowledge, but this certainty, yeah. Okay, so let's look at that truth there. There's like no... Scorpio's got Cancer's back, as you know, in terms of the any toxic crap. And I'm not accusing you of any toxic crap, because I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. You're here. I think anybody that's on a serious journey watching tarot never deserves to be accused of any misbehavior, because there's a learning curve. And you're actively involved in trying to figure out what the hell is going on and what this world is, and who's who, and who's right, who's wrong. And there's such a spectrum of things to know that, yeah, no. So there's nothing, for me, there's nothing to do but focus on the learning process and building with what you have. You need to know one thing in order to know another thing, in order to understand another thing, in order to understand the next thing, in order to the Masons know this and totally use it well. And I'm never going after, just as Catholicism's Masonic, Anglicanism, Episcopalianism is Masonic. Of course Mormons are Masonic. Of course Jehovah's Witnesses are Masonic. They set up all these systems. Islam is heavily, Judaism is totally in bed. Like it's just, there's Muslims, not Muslims, sorry. I have an unofficial adopted mother who's Muslim, Pakistani, which is a very interesting
it's not, it's beyond interesting. It's intense to understand exactly what the British did to India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, the Punjab. If you want a horror story, look up what the British did to the Punjab region. Okay, above and beyond even what they did to everything else, right? Everyone else, but okay, focus. I'm focused. I'm in the zone. They want me to speak of that because now I need to correct what I was saying. Masons are everywhere, in every country. In India, Nehru was a Mason, and that's a huge problem for India right now. He totally rewrote their education, their history. He made sure that the education system whitewashed, yes? And so that's what they do. That's what they do. And you're going to find apologists everywhere. And I'm not saying, I have people in my life, I have friends, I have had customers, clients who are Masons at the, the everyday level of, being basically church attendees, which is a very interesting thing for Masonry. But, it's, and my favorite, the most magical reader on YouTube is a Mason. She is. And I can't tell her what I know because I've been warned not to. Either by my side or her side. I'm not. They gave me a huge accident, so I think both sides are involved. So in terms of when you actively step into these divides and become you, right? The game board, the chess board, becomes clearer and clearer and more like easier in some respects, but way more intense in others, yes. But overall, easier because there's less and less confusion. So here we are in ninth house, coming up for your house. This is your neighbor, Sagittarius, and this is where Jupiter rules. Jupiter also co-rules 12th house, yes. But the faith, the long journeys. So, things that have been popping up already as issues. Because this is the Queen of Wands home. And the Nine of Wands home, yes. So, and exactly, look, cards aren't coming out. Something's stuck. Just like, because we've got all that stuck energy in this house. Well, in the related houses, but coming from here. Ooh. And it turned, I do believe. Magic. Gotta believe in the magic. But you do, Capricorn. You're so magical. You are so magical. Okay. Again, that plan. Knowing where you're going. Knowing where you're going. If it's the truth and the journey. Scorpio had the same thing. Knowing where they're going. And then the read told them where they were going. And I would say this is where ninth house. Right now it's about the journey to, well, I'm going to not speculate. Oh, clean and tidy. You know what? I do need to say this. In my Capricorn energy, it's problem solving. It's just like once we found the solution, we don't really need to elaborate. We just need to take action on it. Yeah. I get into my lawyer mode. I had to become an unofficial lawyer for several years because of my ex-boyfriend suing me continuously over our son, and my own lawyers throwing me under the bus time and time again because money was involved in it for them. There are secret payouts. Yes, I've mentioned this to you before. If they can get your kid into the system, into the social services system, right? There's a 40% bonus payout to the lawyers who help make that happen. So, but yeah, no, I get into that mode. I'm just like, okay, let's identify the problem and let's take action on the solution. And we'll come back once we've done that, basically. Yeah, okay, so there's nothing more. There's nothing more coming through here. Oh, a square. A square. Let's just... Whoa. Okay, clarification, affirmation. Affirmation. Five and five. Now what's interesting, it's almost, it was like this, eh? Enough that I could, oh, that Queen of Cups. That Queen of Cups knows with the High Priestess, and so does the King of Cups. Look at these kings. Look at you squaring off against yourself. Look at this. Which is good. It's the push. It's the push. Just like the Four of Wands, like everything's squaring off. So interesting. It would be so interesting to see your chart, Capricorn. But it might not be, these might not be specific charted events. They might just be the energies, yes? The temporary energies of, again, your inner Leo. Obviously, your inner Sagittarius. Part of you knows, and part of you is, right? Okay, so it probably cut me off somewhere when I was saying something really profound, but yeah, the King of Wands, the King of Swords can't do what the King of Wands does. But the King of Cups, who can wear every crown, Pisces being 12th house, and I put the King of Cups as full water energy, right? So 12th house energy. Of course, King of Cups could be a Scorpio or anybody with anybody in their water energy, any sign. But Pisces has the ability to take on the personality traits and the concerns and the issues and the activities of any house. So you could be talking to someone and they come across as very much a Libra or very much, you know, a Cancer or very much, you name it. It could be you, right? It could be Capricorn, and you've got strong water in you anyway. So interesting how they jumble everything up in astrology, in the stars. They jumble it up in the stars. But he won't necessarily strike you as, this person won't necessarily strike you as a Pisces, if you know well enough. And it's because they're in the other, they're in the particular sign's energy of whatever the issue is that's dominating their lives at that point, in that hour, in that day, right? So absolutely, this king can take on the qualities of this king. This king can carry what this king needs to do until this king is ready, because this king has the capacity to put his mind in this king's mind, or, you know, carry the same kind of consciousness. Pull off short term, right? Like, well, however long it takes, because it'll strain this king to be only one thing. He is all things. So to be one thing, he can pull that off for a while, and then he needs a break. right? King of Swords, it can have the awareness, yes. But it's just something, it's part of the Pisces curse. Blessing. You know, the mix of it. But you also carry, because you carry the fishtail as well as the goat, right? So that part of you that knows how to be more than one thing, and depending on what your Pisces placements are. See, I have a Mercury in Pisces, so my mind and imagination, my mind / imagination. Imagination is the mind, the problem-solving center. It is a Pisces one, so it can. But it's a matter of also training how to do it. So if you know that this King energy and you can do that, right? If you know that your fishtail, your half fishness, if you know that that can take on the qualities and not mimic, but actually step into them and carry the weight, push, right? I mean, we've got so much that squares off in you being fish and goat, right? So this is probably so much to do. Sorry. Yep. This reading is so much to do about you and your own natural strength and whether or not you know that you can optimize that for you and whether or not you know that's what's going on. It's your fish versus goat. And you are your own engine. That's what it is about Capricorn. You're your own engine, so the one can push. You can square off against yourself and make the friction yourself and get things going. And so you're going to have tremendous faith in yourself and allowing for time. We've got Temperance here in the 9th house, right? It is the 9th house, the protection. Where are we going? Where are you going? You want the plan. You want the plan. Because you're either following your will or God's will. Now, if the two are meshed together, fine, then they're the same will. But there's so much that yes, you have to be a master, you have to be so accomplished for God's sake, and then you have to also be the fool for God's sake. Yes, okay. So, in your own house, Capricorn. Tenth house of career and reputation. Devil's in the details. No BS. No BS. Actually, and you know what? Just because I have so much loyalty to this house. Let me get out the alternative devil card that is my Kali. Right? Just for the energies, just for the clarification. I'm just sorting through the deck here. And of course they're going to probably make me go through the whole deck. Tattoo Tarot. Where the genius, both the design, the people, the mind behind it and the artist, Megamundan. Yep, we're just going to go through the whole bloody deck. But I want her energy on the table. Suddenly. I didn't think of it ahead of time. Come on. Ooh, King and Queen of Wands together there. Right before her. That's a message in itself, is it not? Okay? So let's just keep her here because she's so awesome. She visited me in my home. She came to me. She scared the shit out of me. Right? She's Kali because she's the tongue. The tongue is the trademark. But that's Kali. Kali has the tongue sticking out. Rolling Stones used it. Yeah. But it's Kali. Okay. So for me, it's a divine, absolutely a divine, excellent energy. And it's the inversion, of course, of the Lovers. Okay, now we've got her on the table. That's slapping. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, the Seven of Swords. Yep. But let's wait for it to fly. Mother God, Father God. And I'm not saying I worship Satan. I do not. I do not. I'm saying this is an inversion. But Satan is very much in many ways a construct of whoever it is we really have a problem with, which would be the great architect in my humble opinion. And the lies about the Great Mother. Thanks to the internet for a while until it shuts down. For a little golden while, we can know almost everything if we look for it. And we're guided. Capricorn. This is not a spiritual block on my part. We know cards can fly anytime once I touch them. Slapping, slapping. Resistance, resistance. Oh, we'll just do that. We'll do that. That fishtail. Oh, so magical. So magical. Earth sign, so magical. Fairy folk. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so this is where it ends. It starts off in 9th and ends in 10th. This Libra situation, this justice situation. You're gonna transform. It's a 7, you're gonna transform. You need that 6, of course. That's coming. The evidence, and then you're gone. The evidence of, what did we say? So ready. You are so ready. You're so past ready. So past ready. So, second house. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Here we go with the 8 again. Right across from Scorpio, yes. You just, You're like, not yet. Not yet. Not, almost. It's just like so much of your energy. Just about right there. But that 3 of Pentacles and that 4 of Pentacles just... Such interesting career energy, Capricorn. Such reputation energy. Making up your own mind. Yeah. Actually, I should say that it feels like it's coming the more the ability to make up your own mind. You need this to be able to make up your own mind. Yep. And this is ready and this is almost ready. So the freedom, because if we invert this, yes, then freedom. And who's better at creating freedom than Capricorn? Okay. Way upside down. Taurus, Page of Pentacles. Now, others would say it's you, but I say it's Taurus, right? So second house energy, way upside down. Been a long time, hasn't it? It's going to often represent like the child. If this is affecting your freedom, Kali is very protective of children, like to the extent where, you know, she eats the demons that go after them. Now, of course, she's up against it in this world, and not enough people help her, but they'd be hard pressed as it is anyway, because this universe is pretty malevolent. It's not a good universe for children. I think we know that, and I think we have, at this point, we should all have a very fair idea of how much trafficking and torture goes on in the world with children. Not to mention just plain old war, and then mind control, but no, actual stolen children and sex trafficking. Well, sex isn't the right word for it, but rape, torture, trauma. So, no, but she is very protective. And so she's angry, just very angry at a lot of people. Very angry at a lot of people. It's, I'm not even trying to be smart ass about it. It's like can't even express adequately. So what should I slapping. Okay. 2-2. Healing. Or somebody with a small offer. One of those two situations. But I'm going to actually... anything else. Fourth house energy there. And again... so in disalignment, okay? I'm going to pause and just... yeah, these things are not in alignment, right? One's going this way, one's going this way. They are in the same... but they're like... absolutely ships that pass in the night. Ships that pass in the night. Two ships in the background here, right? Somebody's going this way, somebody's going that way. And I've got a siren, but I often get those, but... let's just grab two again. Can you hear that bullshit? Whoop, 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 whoop. Yes, I'm a professional. Sometimes that's an ambulance that does that. Was it this way? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Thinking. But again, I've got strength there. 2-2. 2-2. 2-2. A contract. Somebody's not up for whatever it is. This person is not capable of deciding. This energy is insufficient. It's interesting. This is the same energy. This page represents this Two of Pentacles. Look at the energy here and compare it to the page. This is way ahead of page energy. So we have an incompatibility.
And if we're talking about a lover situation, because I think Capricorn so often, this card
represents a lover's, you know, as much as Gemini, if not more. This is like serious lovers stuff, right? Like the long term. Ten of Pentacles, right? So where's your Ten of Pentacles?
is it not in your fifth? With that Three of Pentacles, yep. 3 squared off with the 4, the 2 4s, double double. So we have a double 4
In the fifth, and we have a double 2 here. 5th and 10th. Beautiful. Let's just keep that together. Thank you, Kali. And thank you, Capricorn. Okay. 11th house. So King of Swords, Queen of Swords, 8, 9, 10 of Swords for me. So we're going right back to that second house situation. But the King of Swords being stuck. This is, of course, networking. This is being the nonconformist. This is innovating. This is what you do with what you know. Right? 11th of, you know, what you know in the third house. And you know a lot because you got High Priestess and Queen of Cups there. With the, let's just double check. Two of Swords. Yeah. All right. But that Ace of Swords. So the Scorpio situation is leading the way to this. That Ace of Swords, 5 of Swords, and then, you know, like, just, well, and then Scorpio and Libra. Okay, stuck. Wow. So interesting. So this brings also High Priestess energy in manifesting, like Venus, obviously. But the manifestations in your life, the 10 Pentacles. She's stuck. It's divine timing. It's divine timing because it's your time to decide. There is, she's active. You can see how she's active. In terms of moon energy, intuition, yes. So she's working with you behind the scenes. Yeah, we go back to that 9 of Wands, where everything's not as it seems. So she's active behind the scenes with the justice situation, yes. And she's here. She's saying she's here in the manifestation energy. It is coming. She's not staying in the deck. Here she is. So she's with you. She's with you, and she made me do the whole Kali thing. Great Mother. Yes, if we go to Mami Wata again. Working on your networking. Working on your networks, your people. Your tribes, if you want to put it that way, however you want to put it, your markets, but your 3 of Pentacles, yeah, because she rules 2nd and 7th house. Now what do we need to know for particulars? Like what? So something's manifesting in the 11th house. So 5, 6, and 7 of swords and ace, 2, 3, 4. So she's working, she's squaring you off with those, the 3 and 4 of pentacles. Or it's naturally in you. But then who designed you, right? This is often in astrology, it's used as an 11th house card. And it's in the same position as the wheel. Networking, the celebration, the happiness, the being, you know, in good communion, in good community. Cancer's energy, house, 4th house, right? Go back to that 5th, but you know, yep, the wands. We need the 5th house. Yeah, it's going back to the Scorpio situation, the transformation, you know, starting over creatively with 5th. Oh Lord, so the 6 of swords. Yeah, the gift of that evidence. But becoming, okay. Right, so communion with guides. Possibly as much as, because this is, okay, and these 7 stars, that is the Great Mother. Sapphic, Hova, right? It's natural Tahuti. Nathan Howard has an excellent video. So the guy that they pinned up on false drug charges, and then once the first day in jail, in prison on those false drug charges, they killed his inmate with a drug overdose and blamed it on him, so that he also got murder charges. And he's still filing his appeal in 2018. It's all public domain on justia.org. But because he was speaking the truth about Great Mother, and what the square and compass actually represent, and the G. Yeah, let your mind go there. But yeah, the 7 stars. So think Statue of Liberty, but all the way back, and it's all going to take us back to West Africa. And then the 7, everything. So there's protection that Aquarius knows. Yes, divine timing.